If you were given the opportunity to change your decision of marrying the person that you're married to, would you do it? Now, before you answer this question, please, please, please give yourself the due diligence and take a time out. Like, just think about it. And I want you to remember that this is not a response that you're giving to the public. This is between you, yourself, and God. So whatever answer that you feel bubbling up in your spirit, that you feel like you're ready to blurt out, don't be so quick to answer it, and really just think about it and process the question. And also, I want you to give yourself some grace for however way it is that you're feeling, for whatever answer that you're prepared to give. And I want you to give yourself some grace, because I don't want this to be a question that gets you in this deep hole of guilt. Because if you can't even be honest with yourself, then what's the point? So just extend the grace to yourself so you don't start to feel bad for how you're feeling. Get what I mean? Because it's how you're feeling. You know, you can work through it at a different time, but don't make yourself feel so bad for how you're feeling. But back to the question, right? And the reason that I'm asking such an unfair question to all of us, and this applies whether you're married right now or not. But the reason that I'm asking this loaded, unfair question is because the divorce rate is just out of control. And that's just the divorce rate. And so since I'm speaking specifically about marriage right now, I have to ask myself if the reason why so many people are getting divorced or have gotten divorced, is it possible that maybe they didn't really know what they were getting themselves into to begin with? And tying into that, did those people, or do those people even know the true meaning behind marriage? Or do we just think that if I think that I can do life with you, if you seem like a great pair for me, if, you know, we're both gonna be go-getters and we can help build each other up, and, you know, we can have a good life together, you're responsible, you know, you're smart, you're this, you're that, all of these wonderful things. Do we just think that that's enough to make a marriage work? And life has shown us that that's not enough. It's not enough to just find someone that you feel you can do life with. Someone that seems like they're a great pair or a great fit for you. And so to answer one of the questions that I asked about, like, if people even know the true meaning of marriage in the first place, really marriage is a covenant. And covenant is just a fancy word for commitment. It's a very, very strong commitment. Nowadays, we don't take commitment very seriously, so I will use the word covenant. And it's a covenant between you and God, first and foremost, with that person that you're choosing to do life with. And so the reason that it's a covenant between you and God is because even when you're not feeling this person, even when you are annoyed and irritated by this person, even when you've had enough of this person and their nonsense, you have to go back to God, the person that you made a covenant with, to seek counsel. And you have to find out what God has to say and how God feels about this situation. And this isn't to pressure anybody to stay in a terrible relationship or a terrible marriage, and this isn't to make anyone feel guilty that have gotten divorces or have separated from their significant others. This is more of like an enlightenment for us to really try to find the problem so we're not repeating the same problems. And so also we can look out for the signs, right? So if I understand that I'm making a covenant with God, I know that it has less to do with the other person that I'm saying I do to, and more to do with what God is telling me to do. That makes sense? And so when it comes to marriage, yes, you make a covenant with God, with the other person that you're choosing to do life with. But that's not all. Because with that covenant, it's a blind faith. Like it's a blind faith step. When you're choosing to say I do to someone, you have no clue what you're saying I do to. And that's the part that takes most marriages over the edge. Because when you are in that marriage, in that relationship, and you start to see things and experience things and feel things that you weren't aware of from this person, with this person, about this person, you start to see different sides of them. They start to see different sides of you. And you're questioning yourself, do I want to put up with this every day? Or am I really okay with doing this for life? And that's where all the thoughts and all the different troubles start coming in. Because you're freaking out because you're like, whoa, this is not the same person that I married. This is not the same person that I thought I knew. But that's the point. We totally missed the point. You don't know. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. And so one key takeaway, if not the biggest takeaway from this entire video, is you have to, when you're about to get married, or when you're thinking about marriage or doing life with someone, you have to be okay with the idea that I don't know exactly what I'm saying yes to. And I'm okay with that. You have to come to that understanding. Because what that does is it gives you the open mind that you need in order to build with this person. You're growing with this person. You're learning with this person. You're failing with this person. And so if off the rip, you're starting to see things that you don't like, or you're starting to, see different things, and you're like, whoa, I don't like this. I can't do this. I'm out. And you're ready to quit. You were not built for this marriage thing, and you misunderstood what marriage really was about to begin with. It's not for the weak of heart. And because divorce is something that's so easily attainable now, we just do it. We just do it. We get married so early because we feel like, oh, we have a bond with this person, or, oh, this person's a good man, she's a good woman, and, he's responsible and she's smart and they're this, and we could do this and we could do that. But we don't understand the type of commitment that we're making. I'm literally trading souls with you. I'm trading my life. I'm taking on your burdens and you're taking on my burdens. Your family issues become my family issues. My family issues become your family issues. Because guess what? Even if we choose to move away from our families, even if we choose not to let the family get involved, I'm still a part of the family. So I may be thousands of miles away from my crazy family, but I'm still a part of that family. And so parts of them are in me. You don't get that? And so a lot of times, you're in these relationships and, in your marriage, and you're thinking that if you can just get far away enough from the family or from these group of friends or from this or from that, without realizing that it's like you can't escape it. It's about working through it. It's about okay, when I'm blindsided with this version of you, with this habit, with this secret, with this, with that, how do I move forward? How do I push through even when? Not what's the quickest way out. Not, oh no, this ain't what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, you did. You signed your name on the dotted line. Yeah, you did. You just didn't read all the fine print. But there's no way of knowing who exactly you're marrying, because we are constantly changing. And that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it all. So we need to come to terms with the idea that when I'm saying I do, I'm taking a step into faith. That's literally all that it is. That's the best that I can explain it. Saying I do Getting married is one of the biggest faith steps that you can take in your life. Having children, the same thing goes for having children. The same thing goes for a career job or any other big decision you make in life. Because we don't know. We don't know what it's going to bring out of us. We don't know how it's going to change us. We don't know how other people are going to be towards us in this space. And so I'm taking this step with very limited information. You may think you know your spouse so well before y'all get married. Oh yeah, he's the one, she's the one, yeah. I know just about everything about her. Sorry, not true. You know everything there is to know about her right now. And that's great. But you will continue to learn her. And I think that that's where a lot of marriages sink, is when the two or either one out of the two get tired or get bored or get so lazy to stop trying to discover and rediscover the other person as they maneuver through this life. Like you can't get tired of that. You can't stop doing that. You can't stop learning or being eager to learn about this person. Just because you've seen something that does not please you, that's not your ticket out. And so understand that the covenant that you're making is not just between the two of you, it's between you and God. So when things are failing, when things don't look right, when things are out of control, you have to go back to the source. You have to go back to God. You know, and there are a lot of marriages that, the two probably should not have been together, but through perseverance and through wise counsel and through, just a bunch of different things, they were able to make it through and make something great come out of it. So just because, maybe the person that you chose to get married to is not the ideal person that you would have liked to marry, or maybe the person, you realize later on that, oh, dag, that was not the right choice. But God is a God of turnaround, and he can still turn that into something beautiful if you let him. So it's not to say that, once you've made a wrong decision or once you've made a mistake, not calling the other person a mistake, but, just your decision to go forth and doing something or choosing something that was not in the will of God, it doesn't get canceled for you. Okay? So I want us to understand that concept of marriage and understand that it is not just an easy peasy, oh, I've planned it out, oh yeah, he's this and she's that. Like, it's a blind faith that you're saying, yes, I do. I am willing to step into this and whatever else that comes our way, because you don't know how that person's gonna be when this comes through, when this sickness, when they're scared because you guys' finances are in shambles, when they're tempted with other people or with other things, when they're feeling unfulfilled, when they're, depressed. You don't know. And you have to be okay with not knowing. That's why it's a journey. And it's the same thing with our relationship with God. If we can have faith in one another blindly, there's no reason why we can't have faith in God. I mean, I'm imperfect, you're imperfect, but we're choosing to be together imperfectly. And I'm putting my trust and my faith in you because I'm saying I do to you. Even though I know you're going to let me down. Even though I know I'm going to let you down. Because we're flawed. We're human. That's what we do. Now, why is it that I can put my faith in another human being that I know is guaranteed 100% to let me down at some point or another? But the great God Almighty that has never failed, it's hard for me to put my faith in him. We got to change that. We really do. We put our faith in a lot of things. We put our faith in our ability to drive. We put our faith in this vehicle that's just a bunch of mechanical things put together. But it's so hard for us to put our faith in the one thing that's never failed, and that is God. So I would encourage you to reconsider what you put your faith in. I would encourage you to reconsider your indecision to put your faith in God, and actually put your faith in God. Start your faith journey with Him. Blindly, going in there knowing you won't know everything that's going to happen. You don't know exactly how your life is going to turn out. You won't know all the steps, but you just put one foot in front of the other because He is the lamp to your feet. Okay? So I hope that, what I said registered and that it made sense to you. Please, if you guys have anything to say, don't forget to put them down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it and share it. See you guys on the next one.